All right, so to just explain the situation regarding this specific audio recording. October 8th, I think it was the the date of the previous recorded audio that's on my other video, the quote filler work orders audio. I'm sure if anybody, listened to the whole thing or paid attention, you could understand that there was a person who's my union steward, apparently, explaining to me that the reason I was meeting, guff, as he said, or resistance, or basically friction from the other mechanics, was because I, quote unquote, took somebody's spot that was like, do the spot. Before, then taking me to a job that he asked me to fix, that was a JOC Contracted job that is fraud, basically. Asked me to commit fraud and put myself in a position that makes me like fully liable. Well, I mean, you guys heard it. Which is not uncommon in my experience at the water department, that kind of treatment, and then when you speak up against it, you get like a, what do you call it? Like, oh, so you're saying you don't know how to do it? Is that what you're saying? Or like, oh, so you're telling me you're not gonna be the kind of person that like gets things done around here? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Because like I like to get things done. Like to stick you a little bit in the side and be like, hey, this is how we do stuff around here. And like, if you're not gonna be a team player, then like, what the fuck, And which I think is like goading, or almost in a way threatening. Like, not, I'm not scared, like physically threatening or anything, but just kind of like, oh, so like, are you gonna play ball or are you not gonna play ball? Like, wink, wink. Which is why I had to start recording these fuckers in the first place. Was because, I mean, even in that short audio clip, I mean, I know it's 45 minutes, but it's short to me. The guy lied like 15 times. And I'm talking like, a minute after he says something, says he never said it. I mean, when he says, WFS is acting like fucking retard, 33 years he's been here, blah, blah. And I'm like, the WFS is a retard? And he's like, I didn't say that. Which was like, 15 seconds after he said it. So it's out of sheer survival is why I was recording conversations. In case there's, people out there that are like, that's below board, or he's a snake, or he's a rat, or he's whatever. Like, if people weren't such lying, disingenuous, terrible people, like I that never would have happened. And what's funny is I got the idea from a supervisor who shall remain nameless. But when I was expressing some of my how do you say it? When I was expressing some of my misgivings with things that were happening to me, he's like, what you should do is get one of these. And he pulled out a recorder from the desk in the supervisor's office at 91st. And I'm like, what? He's like, yep, you need to get one of these. And I'm like, you can do that here? And he's like, oh yeah. And I'm like, well, like, that's not, I won't get in trouble for that? And he's like, no, there's somebody who did it and won a lawsuit, blah, blah, this and that. A recording every operators meeting for like a year to prove a point, to prove like, a discrimination point or something like that. I was like, oh. So like, the idea was given to me by a supervisor. And I heeded that advice. And boy, oh boy, the stuff you hear and the stuff people say about you, it's just unbelievable. Yeah, so, that notwithstanding, this video is an audio clip of that same guy at 23rd Avenue, Mike Nunez. I don't care if I use his name. He said he wasn't scared of what he said. I don't know if you guys heard that. He goes, I'm not afraid of what I say. And I'm like, well, you shouldn't be. Why should you be? This was the next day. So after he told me that and tried to get me to do that job and everything, that was a Wednesday. So I come into work the next day, and I go over after a morning meeting. I was asked by somebody, I don't know, supervisor or somebody, if I could have a look at guess what? The dewatering pump. Because they couldn't get it going. Because they weren't priming it, which is what I told them the day before. Anyway, so after the morning meeting, I got in the service truck or whatever, and I drove over to the pump, to the dewatering pump, which is I'm familiar with because they took it from 91st, so I've used it plenty of times. And it's just like 91st over there in a lot of ways. No, there's every hose bib within 60 feet, reuse bib, was either broken, out of service, didn't work, handle was snapped off. You know what I mean? You guys know what I mean. The guys who are listening to this that know, and I know you know. So, I had to round up like 4, fire hoses and find the right couplers and all that other bullshit that you have to do when you just want to do like a simple job. You have to, rebuild an entire segment of the plant to get water or something. It's ridiculous. So I was minding my own business. This is before sunup, mind you. And I finally get the hose to reach over to where I can continuously pour water into the top of the dewatering pump to make sure it's primed so I can empty the pit that we were talking about the day before, so I can look at the situation, see if I can fix it. And right about when I was pouring water in the top of it, like 3 or 4 mechanics, I think it was 4 mechanics, and Nunez, encircled my vehicle, if you guys can believe this. And one of them, their fearless leader, goes by the name of Brandon. I don't know his last name. Starts walking up to me with his chest out and everything, with like crazy look in his face. I mean, it was crazy. And he's like, "Who the fuck do you think you are? That's a self-priming pump, motherfucker." And I'm like, "Whoa," And I'm like, it's not, man. It's not. It's not. And he's like, "Who told you to fucking do that? Who told you to fucking do that?" And I said, "I think Nunez asked me in the morning meeting." He goes, "Is he your fucking boss, motherfucker? Is he your fucking boss?" And now he's like his spit from his mouth is like hitting me in the face, like screaming at me. And I'm like, "Dude, what is your problem?" And he's like, "You're in a position that doesn't exist. We don't fucking want you here. Nobody wants you here." And I said, "Hey, man, I don't want to be with you fucking idiots either." I don't particularly like you guys either. I didn't ask to be put here. It's not my decision. Like, why don't you go tell management? And I don't know. He just kept saying to and then the guy then I look behind me and there's a guy standing there with his arms folded, right? And then I look up the gravel hill or whatever, and there's another mechanic with his arms folded. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it was like the OK Corral. Like, I was like, they like blocked my truck in, and we're going to have it, say their piece and like fucking run me into the ground or whatever. And I just fucking wasn't going to have it. So I said, "You know what? Fuck all you guys. Fuck you guys. You're just like the fucking idiots at 91st. And you guys know who you are. The idiots at 91st. Guys at UP. Especially UP. You don't care about the plant. You don't care about anything. You just care about pushing your weight around, power plays, blah, blah, blah. And then I told whoever his cart was, I said, "Move that fucking cart." Because they were in golf carts and I was in the F-250, the service truck. So move that fucking cart. And I got in my truck and the guy moved his cart and I went to leave. And then I stopped and I turned around and I said, "Hey, what's your fucking name?" To the Brandon guy. The guy who started it all. And he's like, "What?" I'm like, "What's your fucking name?" And he's like, "Brandon." I'm like, "Brandon what?" And he's like, he told me his last name, but I don't remember. And then I got back in the truck and I drove to the supervisor's office. And I drove to the supervisor's office and I talked to, I don't know, one of the supervisors, Johnny maybe. And I said, "Hey man, I need a key to a Colorado." He's like, "Why?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to City Hall." He's like, "All right. Just sign out the sheet, So I signed out the sheet, a little sheet on the door. And I grabbed a little Colorado and I drove to City Hall. And I went to go see, the bosses or somebody to let them know this is bullshit. And obviously nobody was in. I went to the human relations floor for like 30 minutes. Nobody was there. I could have walked in, there was nobody. It's just classic, I was like ringing the bell, like, hello. I could have walked into anybody's cubicle and just like sat down, started eating their lunch. It's just ridiculous. And then I went to go see the deputy director, and he wasn't in. And then so I was like, shit, I need to talk to somebody. So I was standing at the base of City Hall, looking around, going like, what the hell am I gonna do? This is fucking nuts. And I said, I'll call the union rep, my union guy, right? Because this is management doing shit that like pissed off the Unit 2 guys. It's not me. I didn't do it. And I called him, and his voicemail box had not been set up yet. That's right. That's what your money's going to, guys. Your ASFCME I don't want to say ass fuck me, but like that's kind of what it relates to, what it translates over to. That's what your money goes to, guys. To a union vice president whose mailbox is not set up yet. That and like sending Poncho, if you're listening, Poncho, to on vacation. You know what I mean? To like Montana or something for some type of gathering or whatever. And then so I got I couldn't even leave a message for the guy. So I was like, you know what? I'll call Mike Nunez, because Nunez is the guy that explained this whole situation to me, why these guys are mad at me and everything. I mean, he told me flat out what was happening, and not only that, but he's my union steward. And he saw what happened because he was sitting in his cart watching the other guys do this to me. So I was like, I'll call him. And this phone call is that phone call. So I just wanted to give some preemptive description, kind of, to let everybody get in on where we're at here, on what was going on before you just listen to the audio. So here we go. Let's listen to it together.
Yeah, but my manager. Oh, sweet. I'm glad you got it figured out. I hate when you run into problems that are tough. You're my union steward, right? Yep. Okay, so I need you to walk me through the grievance process. Okay. I was actually kind of concerned that you didn't call me after what happened at the plant. So, I didn't follow you? Call me. Oh, call you? Yeah. Cause so that was the resistance you were talking about yesterday, right? Right. Okay. Is it still resistance? Was that guff? Is that guff? Or I think was that a little bit more than guff? I'm gonna have to excuse something, sir. Oh yeah. Take your time. Yeah. Let me all right, log out. I'm gonna flush on my machine. I know. Plan comes first. We all know that. Right. All right, so are you asking my opinion of this morning? Is that what you're asking me? I'm not asking your opinion. I'm asking you what the fuck is that about? Like,